Hey, visionary woman, have you been planning your next big project in your head for months? Now's your opportunity to put legs on it. Join the Season to Shine Summer Incubator starting mid-August and craft and launch your next breakthrough business idea in just 6 weeks. Whether it's an in-person experience, a book, or a unique online program, we're here to help. For more details, tap the Shine link in the show notes. Let's turn your vision into reality together. I follow my intuition as to, I feel like this is where I need to be. There's something calling me into this new space. And when I do that, and I take a learning posture, we all have our own beautiful mix of wisdom. Where I'm at is constantly pushing that edge and not trying to figure it all out on my own. Hi, welcome to the Connect with Sheila Botelho podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, self-care strategist, and creator of the Season Self-Care app. I'm committed to helping you reconnect to your purpose, elevate your well-being, and build your version of a happy, successful life. And on today's solo chat, I wanted to go a little deeper on what we were talking about on Monday. We tapped in on self-doubt, imposter syndrome, and the whole thing stemming from when you are wanting to make a big move or a perceived big move for you in your business. If you're wanting to move into something new you've never done before, how do you really get yourself there to actually take the steps? It can look fabulous on paper. You can sit with a business coach to map it all out. That's really helpful. I know that as I'm working with my clients, we always start with what's the vision? And then we work backwards from that. And because it involves so much more than just taking rote step-by-step actions to get there, it's so much more than that, right? It's our inner world that needs the most work. Because if we just had to, without any emotion, just go through the motions, it'd all get done in a heartbeat. We'd all be exactly where we wanted to be. Now, we tend to be hard on ourselves when we're doing new things because we become so proficient at those things that we've been doing for years. So sometimes when we're starting something new, to be patient with ourselves can really be challenging. We expect, I've got this level of success. I should be able to just move forward faster. And probably many of you can. Probably your current success and the paths that you've taken, the wisdom you've experienced, you probably are doing things faster than you would have had you just been starting at ground zero. But of course, even so, it's an inside game. It's an inside job. It's an inside world that is guiding our actions and our motivations and our habits. And so I wanted to touch on a few things that as you are making these steps, what has been really, really helpful for people to hone in on, and what I have found has helped me too. And the first thing is really the power of consistency. Consistency is something we don't talk about a whole lot. We talk about what's trending. We talk about what's new. We talk about, there's these great ideas that we can dive into. And everything sounds really wonderful at the outset. And if you're like me and you love new ideas, it's so exciting in the beginning. But when it really gets real, it's when you're needing to show up on day 84, day 479, day 2,600, I don't know. That is the real deal. What are you willing to do over time? I love to say it is about playing the long game. This is your life. Your business is a piece of it. Whatever goal that you're going after right now, it's a piece of your beautiful life, your one precious life. So you want to make sure, it's something that I want to invest my time in, but it's something that you want to be able to invest more than just a couple of weeks or a couple of months in. In my sales and marketing background, direct sales particularly, because it was such a low entry in terms of financial commitment for people to join, often the perception was, okay, if I only needed to do this, then maybe it's going to be really easy. And so often people would like drop an investment, make a sound choice because it made so much sense to them. And then they would commit 3 months. And if they weren't seeing a return right away, they thought, okay, I guess this isn't for me. I need to do something different. And truly, let's think about this in relationship terms. When you're getting into a relationship with someone and you want it to be a serious relationship, are you thinking like, okay, I want to have everything understood, everything perfect, all of our communication to be down pat, all set, beautiful in 3 months? Sometimes things happen beautiful right off the top. But I think the better question is, how do you want things to look in a year, in 5 years, in 10, in 25? I mean, maybe that's kind of far to look out, like even because business is changing so much. I love to say have a 10-year plan, maybe a 5-year plan is something to really, really look at right now, because you get to capitalize on a lot of the beautiful technology that is coming through. And really, it's important for us to be aware of that, but also see how do we want to fit into that, and how ultimately do we want our businesses to serve our life? Because our businesses, yes, are our purpose, part of our purpose, but they're also fueling our life. I love to call my business my soul work. It's what I chose. It's what I show up for, rain or shine, healthy, not healthy. I want to show up. I want to serve. I want to be here talking to you right now. This is a choice. And then there are some days where it's like, oh boy, I said I was going to do this. I don't really feel like doing it, but I'm consistent. I mean, this is episode, 418 or 419 if you count the trailer, the initial trailer. Yeah, that's consistent. And I love it when I look back on it. And oftentimes, most of the time, I do absolutely love to just come and share with you. But sometimes I don't so much. But I made a commitment to myself to be consistent because I know that is so important. And so having a dedication to your work and to what you're doing, that is where the gold is. Because sometimes you'll find you'll show up even when you don't want to, and something will land that you never would have learned about yourself, your client, something you can offer, a way you can tweak your work if you hadn't shown up. So always show up for you. And of course, I'm saying that through the lens of self-care. So make sure, take care of you. Obviously, that always comes first. We got to have grace on ourselves. And then really thinking about, for you to come into this next new phase of your business, season of your business, there are going to be some new skills you need to learn. You've probably heard, if you've been around for a while, what got you here won't get you there. And really, let's just pare this down for a minute. A long time ago, I think his name was Lou Tice. I think that's the coach who told me about this first years and years ago, back in the 90s. He said, you don't know what you don't know. But when you know and learn of what you don't know, you can't unknow it. Wow. Think about that one. I'm not going to try and say it again because I may not say it properly a second time. But the truth is, you don't know the thing that's going to take you to the next space. But guess who does? Someone who's done it. Someone who's in a similar type of business. Someone who's gone before you. And guess what? People who are growing in their lives and businesses want to help others who want to grow too. We love it. It's my lifeblood is seeing people live into their purpose. So the key is getting with people and getting in front of the right information to teach you what you don't know, to fill in those knowledge gaps. And there's tools and techniques and all these types of things that can help you as well. And ultimately, this all comes when you have reached maybe a plateau in your business. You feel like, I'm comfortable. I do this work in my sleep. I serve in this way in my sleep. And okay, maybe it doesn't feel so challenging and now you're getting a little bored. And so you want to know, well, what is my next level? Is there a next level? What would my future self do? Who's my future self? That's actually a great place to start. Who is your future self? Talk to them. Have a little chat. Pour some kombucha and say, hey, future self, what is in store for me? And maybe who do I need to learn from in order to get there faster? Or at least just get there in a direction, like start making the journey. I will say there has been several times in my life, more than several times, I can't even count. I put myself into completely different spaces that are totally outside of my zone of understanding. And I will learn new things. And I will take the learner's posture of coming in, not knowing anything about, well, maybe not anything, but I have a very rudimentary understanding of this topic or this new line of work. But I follow my intuition as to, I feel like this is where I need to be. There's something calling me into this new space. And when I do that, and I take a learning posture, not the posture of, oh, I've been in the wellness, marketing, sales, and transformational space for 30 years. I am always learning. I do not know all of the stuff. I know some stuff. Yeah, I have some experiences. Yeah, I got some wisdom. You do too. We all have our own beautiful mix of wisdom. Where I'm at is constantly pushing that edge and not trying to figure it all out on my own. I used to do that when I was younger, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, when I first got into personal development and into the corporate space and into events and planning them and coordinating them and, hanging out with these really, really cool people. I felt like I had to know it all. I felt like I had to show up to be respected. I had to be like, oh, okay, I really better do my research here. And it's always good to do that. But like, I better, I can't look like I don't know what I'm doing. I can't look like a beginner. But hello, I was like 19, 20, 21. Yeah, it's okay to be a beginner. And guess what? In my 50s, I'm still a beginner at some stuff. And I'm now proudly, hey, I'm new. Tell me, teach me your ways. I want to know. And I'm telling you, it feels so liberating to be able to say, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Why don't you share that with me? Teach me. Tell me. I want to hear all about it. There's something so beautiful about doing that. So again, what got you to where you are is not going to be the very same thing that's going to get to where you go. I mean, if it's integrity, yeah, that's going to be great. Keep your integrity, keep your authenticity. That is going to take you great places in your life because you only have one character. Your character is everything. And so when you're wanting to make some moves, don't be afraid to sit in the learner's seat and put yourself in those rooms. Maybe it's going to be uncomfortable at first. I alluded to that in the other episode. But you know what? You have a choice. You can stay where you are and maybe feel unfulfilled and bored, or maybe fulfilled, but just so comfy and bored. I've said bored a few times, been there in my life. Boring is not really all it's cracked up to be. Uneventful is not all that it's cracked up to be either. So do you want to be bored? Or do you want to see what beautiful, cool moves you can make in your incredible life? Think about it. I'd love to hear, what are you up to? What are you working on in your world right now? This is such a beautiful season. It's like almost harvest season. Well, no, it is harvest season actually. With the farmers, they've had, where I live, it's been a beautiful summer for them to grow incredible food. Side note, my farmer's market's incredible. And I've had some amazing, beautiful no spray produce that's local that I can't even get over. Like the mescaline mix will last 2 weeks and it's like it's totally fresh. Lettuces, which normally, after 5 days when you buy them in the store, they're like dying. You got to eat them fast. It's so special. And so I draw the analogy, of course, with nature, because we are nature. And I draw the analogy saying it's harvest season. The seeds that were planted before are now being harvested, and it's going to be harvested all through the fall. And then we're going to be leading up to a time in the year where we will be able to have some rest and retrospection. And I really believe in the importance of doing that and having some kind of cyclical rhythm to the way that you do your life and your business and all of those things. But think about it. What seeds have you been planting? Have you maybe been in a season where you're just satisfied with where you're at, but you have that niggling that you want to do something else? It's still not too late to plant some stuff. You can start planting now and see where the coming year brings you. And you can also see where the coming quarter brings you near to the end of the year. And so you may have heard at the top of this episode, I was talking about this Season to Shine 6-week summer incubator. If you're interested in learning about how you can join me for that, It is a beautiful new offering that I've created, and we dive into things like what I was talking about on Monday about like self-doubt, how do we address it, how do we make moves, and then also about building consistency and some of the ways and tools that can help you move forward, as well as getting into your body, creating your own energetic pathways and rituals to help you move through the next quarter with your big, beautiful business idea out there in the world and you feeling wonderful bringing it together. You are a whole ecosystem of energy, of ideas. You are more than your business, right? You are a whole being. We want to support you through that so that you can actually make strides into beautiful outcomes. Because if you're listening to this, I have a feeling you're a big-hearted person who wants to do beautiful things in the world, who wants to serve others with your gifts. And if that's you, tap the Shine link in the podcast show notes or in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, and I'll happily get you the details. It's a small group, but we can have a conversation. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Big blessings.